The International Day of the Radio has been celebrated worldwide. In Cameroon, the radio has been existing for over 77 years. How has the radio been faring all this while? With me is veteran journalist Peter ESSOKA. Good afternoon, sir. What significant changes has the radio broadcast in Cameroon experienced over the years?
From many years back, there was not enough technology like we have today. Our materials were amateur, and today there's a lot of professionalism in terms of the scientific way of doing things. I remember many years ago, we couldn't use things like this that you're putting in front of me. We had huge recorders, they called the Nagra, very heavy, and we went out for reporting, carrying all of those things, sometimes with no transportation, breathing heavily. And then you had to compose yourself before you start interviewing anybody. But there was a lot of conviviality amongst us. We were not as many, of course, as there are today. And consequently, we understood ourselves, and each one was willing to help the other to grow. There was no sort of independence or the thinking that you knew it all. What we did was we consulted with one another. Radio broadcasters were not as trained as they are today. First of all, I started at the radio with my GC advanced level, and I had not done any journalism prior to that. And many of us had not done journalism. We did amateur radio. Today, we have lots and lots of well-trained and supposedly professional. And yet, if you try to make a comparison between what was and what is, for you who have experienced such, you start asking yourself whether indeed we have deteriorated or we have made progress. Progress scientifically, but is the output the same as it was many years ago? That's the question. But what I think is that things are developing. And if those who have an education like we have today can only put a little more seriousness to what they do, it will be a superb profession, because journalism in itself is a noble profession, and would like for that nobility to be expressed in performance.
So talking about journalism, are radio journalists today rectifying some lapses of the past or falling short of expectations?
They're supposed to have made lots of changes, that is to say, correcting the errors of the past, more professionally apt, because they've received more training. Many of them have gone to school, many of them have their degrees in journalism, and so they're supposed to be professional. Although again, I would want to say that having a degree in journalism doesn't make you a journalist. You have to get professional, and what they say is practice makes perfect. So I think the correction should be there, and I hope that some people will be listening and that they'll do better.
As an icon and a veteran in the field, do you have any fears for the future of the radio in Cameroon?
My only hope is that we should improve. The only fear I have is that sometimes we don't take things seriously. And the desire to make money has taken over the desire to be more professional. I will not say it's for everybody, because there are a few professionals, some radio people who do a marvelous job. But there are many who still are dragging their feet, and they need to wake up. Money is not all. Being rich is not all. Riches can come from who you are. We made no money, but we were widely listened to. We were impressive. We gave to the population at the time what they needed. I remember I was a sports reporter, commentator, and I did it with a zeal. We didn't have television, but I tried to describe the running of a game like it was, so that there is an attachment between what I am saying and what is taking place in the field of play. And people lived it. And there's still that nostalgia. Many people are asking the questions today. What happened? Why are commentaries not the same like they were yesterday? Oh, some people will give the excuse that television has come, and many people have taken the style of television. But radio should be radio, and let us uplift the spirit of the radio so that it doesn't